All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Tiger Baseball at Vanderbilt's Hawkins Field. We're just underway. And Townsend Stevenson's on the rubber for USN. And he's out in front 0-2 on the opening hitter for PCA. Misses high with a fastball, 1-2. Goes into the windup. Curveball just missed inside. 2-2. Townsend takes a stretch. Looks ready to go. Batter steps in at the rear of the right-handed batter's box. Townsend gets the signal. Into the windup. Fastball swung on and missed. And it's one away. Townsend's first offering to the second hitter for PCA is fouled out of the back of the stadium, making the count 0-1. Curveball is just up. One ball and a strike. Townsend fires and it's fouled back again. PCA hitter shaking his head. He didn't like the contact he made with that one. He's behind now on the count, 1-2. Beautiful day here at the ball field. It's a little cool, probably in the upper 40s. Fans are well dressed in heavy coats, but the players look comfortable. Ground ball back to the mound. Townsend has it. He walks it over, flips it to Mahoney, and that's 2 away. Number 21, Burkoffer, steps in for PCA. First pitch from Townsend's a curveball outside for ball 1. Another batter standing at the rear of the box. Townsend brings a lot of speed. That one's a fastball up high for ball 2. Townsend has the signal, throws a curveball. This one nearly broke in on the inside corner, but didn't get a piece of it. So he is behind now in the count. The umpire is showing him 3-1, but I have 3-0. Here's the pitch. Fouled into the Lion dugout, scattering some players. The catcher went to his knees. So it's going to be 3-1. Townsend tucks his shirt in. I think the umpire went out to tell him to do so. And the big man now is ready to go. Has the sign, goes into the windup. The pitch. Misses wide for ball 4. And so PCA has a man aboard with 2 outs in the top of the first. That brings Baird to the plate. Let's see if they decide to test the arm of young Dylan Washko behind the plate. Not on the first pitch. Ground ball towards the hole. It's cut off there by Grant Riley. He throws it over to second for the fielder's choice, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and 1 left on. We are through half an inning. Score still 0-0. It's going to be a doubleheader today between USN and PCA. USN will be the home team in the first game and the away team in the second. Leading off for the Tigers will be Joe Zen, the center fielder, followed by Owen Block and Alexander Peck, the Arkansas commit, playing shortstop and hitting third. Baird, who was recently retired for the last out of the top of the first, doing the pitching for PCA. Looks to be sort of a curveball specialist as I watch the warm-up. Tigers getting their cuts in on the on-deck circle as they prepare to head to the plate. Townsend got him. His second strikeout. He struck out the leadoff hitter both innings thus far. And so it's 1 away. First pitch to Keller is outside. I believe the second missed as well. Didn't miss by much, but it got past the catcher, so the umpire will tend to call a ball on that one. But there can be no doubt about the 2-0. Right down the middle. Townsend shakes off the first sign, takes the second one. Into the windup. Another fastball, and it's another strike. So Townsend seems to feel that Keller can't keep up with his fastball. It's 2-2. And we'll see if Townsend tries again. Again, he shakes off the first sign. The 2-2 is on its way, and swing and a miss. He did go off speed there. And that's the second strikeout in succession, third overall in the first 2 innings for Townsend Stevenson. And there's 2 away as Patrick comes to the plate. We see the left-hander, first left-hander of the day for PCA. Townsend in a good rhythm now, finds the outside corner for strike 1. Fastball got past Patrick. He wasn't even close. Well behind it. So that makes it 0-2. We'll see if Townsend tries something off speed or just tries to stick with the fastball. It's another fastball in. Patrick had no chance. So 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and the third strikeout of the top of the second. That retires the Lions. And it concludes the top of the second. No runs, hits, errors, or players left on base. So we head now to the bottom of the second. Still no score. As the Tigers will try their hand at the plate. See if they can be the first on the scoreboard. To lead off for USN, it's going to be Dylan Washko, Grant Riley, and then Harry Fitzgibbon. Batting 6, 7, 8 for USN. Coach G said before the game, the 1-2 is fouled back to the screen, so Grant stays alive. Leading off the bottom of the second. More and more fans continue to file in. The 1-2's in the dirt. Leveling the count 2-2. Here comes the pitch in the dirt for ball 3. So we've got a full count here to lead off the bottom of the second for USN. Coach G looking anxious over in the third base box, pacing nervously up and down. Pitch on the way. Hit hard to left field. Left fielder heading towards the line. Can he get there? No, it's one hopping into the wall. He mishandles it a little bit, and Grant's in at second with a stand-up double to the delight of the Tiger faithful. Coach G loves it. Second hit for USN has Grant aboard and in scoring position. And a pinch runner checks in. Pinch runners are used much more liberally in the high school game because they are not a permanent replacement for the position player. Excuse me, I misspoke earlier. I said that it was Grant Riley who had that double, but of course, as I said before that, it was Washko who led off. He is the one who doubled, one hopper into the wall. Grant Riley at the plate now in an effort to bring him home. The bat rests on his shoulder. He squares the bunt. And it's a 2-ball count as the pitch missed outside. Here comes the 2-0. He squares the bunt again. Pitches up high for ball 3. So Grant draws a base on balls. First and second, no outs for Harry Fitzgibbon. He takes a ball. Gets the bunt down. They're going to have to go to first. The throw is in time. Was he on the bag? Ooh, it looked like his foot was off the bag, but the umpire said that it was indeed on the bag. First base coach wanted a safe call, but both runners move over. So we've got second and third with 1 out. And we have now Carson Darr, who batted leadoff for much of last year, batting in the 9-hole this year. First pitch is outside for a ball. The catcher made a signal as if they are trying to walk him intentionally, but perhaps not. No, indeed, that pitch gets to the second baseman and it eats him up. Off the hop, it hit him in the heel of the glove, didn't get there. They tried to get the throw home. Both runners score. And as the throw went to the plate, Carson advanced to second base. So 2 runs are in for USN. And we'll give him a hit on that. It was a tough hop to the second baseman. So we've got a runner on second with 1 out. That runner is Carson Darr. We're back up to the top of the order with Joe Ozen. Tigers leading 2-0. Ozen takes a curveball for a strike. The 1-1 is in the dirt. Tigers have not attempted to steal a base today. Usually the first attempt is not to steal third base. Carson does have good speed, and he's got a big lead. He's not being held on. Squaring to bunt. Now he does go. Great bunt down the first base line. Can he beat a tag? Now they've got a rundown going. I think that he was tagged out at first. Carson's being run down between third and home. He tries to get to the plate. He does not. He's tagged out. But Joe's standing at second base, so he must have avoided the tag. Carson rounded third and attempted to score. He was run down there for the second out. Joe now stands at second with 2 away. First pitch to Owen is a strike. Looking. They're not holding Joe on at second base. So he's got a good size lead. Probably about 15 feet. Now stepping off the mound is Barrett. He looks him back. And Joe heads somewhat back towards the base, but doesn't touch it. Now PCA showing some signs that they might hold him. That ball's ripped towards third base. Base hit. Coach G waving Joe in, and Joe will score easily. That's the third run for USN. And the Tigers are out in front 3-0. 3 hits and 3 runs thus far in the bottom of the second. It's been a big inning. And Alexander Peck stands at the plate in an effort to keep it going. The runner is on his way. He takes the pitch. The throw down is not going to be in time. And Owen has a straight steal of second base. So he's now in scoring position. Owen had a great jump on that one. Really left before the pitcher began his move from the stretch. Now Owen's going again. Can they get him at third? The throw is not in time. And just like that, Owen blocks on third. 2 pitches, 2 stolen bases. So Coach G with great trust in the senior speed, and that trust is well placed. As now Owen stands at third, tucking his shirt in after a couple of slides. If it were actual dirt, his uniform would have been dirty. Now that pitch is in the dirt. Owen's coming to the plate, and he's going to score. So 3 pitches, and Owen Block goes from first base to home. In quick succession. That makes the Tiger lead 4-0 in the bottom of the second. Base is empty now for Alexander. Pitches going from the windup. And the pitch is in the dirt, 3-1. It's a synthetic dirt and a synthetic turf, so the players' uniforms remain very clean, despite whatever slides we've seen thus far. And the 3-1 pitch is up high to Alexander. He advances with a walk. That's going to bring Mahoney to the plate with 2 outs. Alexander's on first base. Mahoney stands in with a slightly open stance. Pitch is inside, hit right to the third baseman. He goes to second for the putout, and it's in time. But the damage is done. In the bottom of the second, the Tigers score 4 runs on 3 hits. And they lead it 4-0. 8 Tigers came to plate there in the second. Meanwhile, in the Lion half of the second, Townsend retired the PCA hitters in order with 3 consecutive strikeouts. He had 1 in the first inning as well for 4 overall. And we'll see what he can do here in the third. It's the bottom of the order for PCA. Flags are blowing steadily but not taut in the outfield. So there's a good wind, good breeze here in the cool weather of the end of winter. In straightaway center field, we see the American flag and the state flag of Tennessee, the 3 stars, blowing underneath it. Now Siege steps in for PCA, and we're ready to start the top of the third. Townsend's fastball is again fouled towards the PCA dugout, and Townsend again is out in front, 0-1. He has the sign he likes. Comes into the windup, throws the pitch off speed, and he fooled him. So Townsend again is out in front, 0-2. Here comes the 0-2. Curveball, and it is a strikeout. The ball hopped to Dillon, so he throws to Mahoney for the putout. But it's 4 strikeouts in a row for Townsend Stevenson. And it's 1 away here in the top of the third. The left-hander Charis steps in for PCA, and he swings and misses at the first offering for 0-1. So Townsend in a great rhythm right now. Working quickly as he tends to do. Swung on and missed again. Townsend came at him high and inside, and the batter almost defensively offered at it, but got none of it, and he's behind 0-2. Curveball missed outside for 1-2. We see Charis wearing 1 batting glove, which seems somewhat unusual, more of a golfer's approach as Townsend throws outside again. So we've got 2-2 with 1 out. Townsend misses high and outside for a 3rd time. So the count is full on Charis, the 9th hitter, with 1 away in the top of the 3rd. And it swung on and missed, so 5 strikeouts in a row for Townsend. And we've just got 2 away, just like that. Townsend throws a curveball to Proudman, and it swung on and missed. So Townsend has done just an outstanding job getting ahead of these Lion hitters. And he's done so again. Great curveball. Just missed the inside part of the plate. Evening the count at 1-1. Townsend into the windup. Throws a fastball past him. And he's feeling very confident right now, as well he should. He's got an opportunity here for his 6th consecutive strikeout. But instead he throws high and outside. Tried to get the batter to chase one, which he did not. So that makes the count 2-2. Townsend winds up and throws in the dirt for ball 3. So we've got a full count to Proudman. Townsend steps off the rubber now, resets. Shakes off one sign and another. He likes the 3rd one. He throws. Curveball. He got him. Swung and missed. It's another one-hopper to Dillon. He throws to first. And the side is retired. So 3 up, 3 down again for PCA. Townsend doing a great job, getting congratulated by his teammates. 6 straight strikeouts for Townsend. And 7 overall as we head to the bottom of the third with USN out in front 4-0. USN nearly batted around in their half of the second. So it's going to be Townsend leading off, followed by Washko, who doubled to lead off the previous inning, and then Grant Riley after him. Stands filling up, probably about 75 people in support of each team in the stands, I would say. But plenty of good seats still available. So if you're in the area, the price of admission is just right. $0, 0 cents. Come on by and support these great athletes. Then you don't have to listen to me, who wants to do that. The many students who sleep through the various lessons I provide will certainly attest that there are better options than having to listen to me. Townsend prepares to step in. It's still Baird for PCA. He's pitched 2 innings, given up 4 runs on 4 hits. Townsend looks at the off-speed pitch, and it is a strike on the outside corner. So he's behind 0-1, just as he has set many Lion hitters behind in the count who have faced him. 0-1 is on the way. Townsend swings at it, and it's going to be fouled over towards the tennis courts. One hop off of Jess Neely Boulevard and across the street towards the McGugan Center. So Townsend's behind 0-2. Into the windup. Here comes the pitch. It is up high for a ball. Townsend looking to battle back. The 1-2 is inside and low. Townsend takes it. That makes it 2-2. As a couple of Lions scurry over towards the visiting bullpen. Townsend watches the 2-2 miss up high, which makes it a full count, so he's battled all the way back. Baird shakes off one sign and throws a fastball, and he misses. So Townsend is aboard with a leadoff walk. And now Baird will face Dylan Washko as a pinch runner checks in. I can't quite see who it is. Number 6 over at first base for USN. We'll see if he goes. Dylan hit a one-hopper into the wall in left field his first time up. He takes a ball on the first pitch. And PCA calls for time. So the manager takes a walk out to the mound as the catcher hustles to beat him there. Baird with his right hand on his hip, perhaps showing some signs of fatigue. Meanwhile, Washko takes a walk over to Coach G, standing on the Vanderbilt V just outside the third base line, halfway up the line. They share a laugh there. It's all smiles over on the Tiger side. They enjoy a 4-0 lead. No one out. Bottom of the third. Townsend drew a leadoff walk after falling behind 0-2. The umpire breaks off a lengthy conference at the mound. The catcher calling out some instructions to the left side of the infield, so they seem to be anticipating the possibility of an attempt to steal a base here. And we'll see if that's indeed what happens. Baird comes set. The 1-0. Up high. Ball 2. Baird set again. As Washko swings and misses. So it's 2-1. Baird looks over to first base anxiously as the runner leads away. It's a small lead. The 2-1 is popped up to shallow right center. Coming in as the right fielder. Can he get there? He does. And getting back to first base in time is the pinch runner. So there's one away. Grant Riley comes to the plate. He drew a walk his first time up. Coach G strokes his beard over on the third base side. One can't help but wonder if that's a signal of some type. The runner not going. And the first pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. Grant squares to bunt but doesn't do it. There's a throw over to first base from the catcher. It is not in time. The pitch missed, so it's 2-0. Grant Riley steps in. The bat rests on his rear shoulder. Pitch is up high. Runner is going, and under the tag is the runner. So USN once again hustling on the base paths and now has a runner in scoring position with a 3-0 count to Grant Riley. He walked his first time and is in position to do so again if he can get one more ball. And he does. The 3-0 misses up high. And Grant draws another walk. He's aboard with 1 out. And Harry Fitzgibbon prepares to step in, but we've got another visit to the mound. And we'll see if that's going to be all for Baird. The manager looks over to the bullpen. And he signaled toward the bullpen, and someone came running out from the dugout. So I don't know how any of that works. But we will have a pitching change. The fans express their appreciation for Baird. He heads towards the dugout. He pitched 2 1/3, gave up 4 runs on 4 hits. In now for PCA to do the pitching is Bramble, a left-hander. Let's see what he's got. Looks like more of a contact pitcher, not throwing with extremely high velocity, but does have a variety of pitches with some movement. And so we'll see what he can do against Harry Fitzgibbon. There are 2 runners on base, 1 out. Those 2 runners both reached base with a walk. And we're ready to go. So Harry's going to step in. Bramble will work from the wind. Oh, that's certainly a balk. The pitcher started his windup, and yes, a balk is awarded. Bramble seemed to be unaware of the situation. He went from the windup. He began the first bit of the motion. The runners took off, and he stopped as if to throw. And now again, we've got a straight steal of home upcoming. Can he beat the tag? He's out. Yes, Harry Fitzgibbon clearly interfered. And so the runner is going to be out because of the interference. Harry Fitzgibbon, using his basketball experience, looked to be setting a pick on the catcher there. And that is not allowed by the rules of baseball. So we have a put out on the attempted steal. Advancing to third was Grant. We've got 2 away. And we've got a 2-0 count to Harry. Here's the pitch. Harry gets a piece of it. It heads into the on-deck circle, where it's fielded by Carson Darr. 2-1 the count now. Pitch on the way. Harry swings through it for strike 2. The USN seniors in the stands. Express their support for Harry. Time is called. The PCA manager headed to the home plate umpire to express his displeasure with something. Now the home plate umpire confers with the second base umpire. And they seem to have resolved the matter, and now the umpire goes to speak with the PCA manager. PCA manager seems less than satisfied with the resolution. Seems to be a matter of the count. The umpire looking at his clicker. And Harry is retired. I think that perhaps that the count was given wrong at some point. And that retires the side. So, USN with no runs in their half of the third. And we prepare to head to the fourth. USN still out in front 4-0. It's going to be top of the order coming up for PCA. Townsend resumes his place on the mound, having struck out 6 hitters in a row and 7 out of 10 the first trip through the lineup. It's actually going to be the 2-3-4 hitters for PCA. Ferguson will be the first up. He grounded back to the mound in the first inning. Townsend offers a strike, and it's 0-1. Very quickly, the second pitch is on its way, and he fired a fastball into the dirt. Dillon kept it in front of him. We've got a 1-1 count. Fastball again. Fouled over towards the right field side. And out of play, out of the stadium. And across the street, another one goes. Unlike a typical game, we have to try to keep the baseballs in supply. We have fewer than there might be for a typical college game that would be played here, as Townsend's 1-2 is in the dirt. 2-2. Standing in the rear of the box is Ferguson. Here comes the 2-2. Up high, just missed. That makes a full count to the leadoff hitter here in the top of the fourth. Townsend enters the windup and throws. It's going to be a ground ball over to the third base. Grant has it, throws over to first, and in time. So we've got one away. Bierkoffer to the plate for PCA. He is the lone Lion to reach base thus far this afternoon. He drew a walk in the first. Curveball for Townsend, just off the inside part of the plate. Bierkoffer right up against the inside part of the batter's box. Just taps it over up the third base line. The first bounce was in fair territory, but then it kicked into foul territory, and so that will even the count, 1-1. Bierkoffer steps in, pitch on the way, outside, 2-1. The 2-1 is fouled back to the screen. And while Townsend's run of strikeouts came to an end with that ground out from Ferguson, he can look to start a new run here. It's 2-2 to Bierkoffer. He can also amend for the walk he allowed. And it's a curveball. It's going to be grounded over to the right side. No one covering first base, but Townsend will take it himself. Both Townsend and Mahoney converged on the ball. Townsend fielded it and had the runner beat to the bag. So it's 2 away for PCA in the top of the fourth. Baird grounded into a fielder's choice to end the first. Now with his second effort against Townsend, looks at ball one. Townsend shakes one off. Winds up, throws home, fastball, got it past him. That ball was moving. Townsend can get it up into the upper 80s for sure. And that one was every bit of 88, I would say. That was moving. Little off-speed pitch there, swung on and missed again. So Townsend really using his full arsenal, and he's out in front 1-2 against Baird. Can he get the strikeout? Here's the pitch. Fouled back. No play. So it's still 1-2. Baird steps back in. Townsend into the windup. Throws the pitch, and it is swung on and missed. For strike three, the 8th strikeout for Townsend Stevenson. And that closes out the Lion half of the fourth. Your score through 3.5 innings of baseball, USN 4, PCA nothing. It'll still be Bramble, the left-hander on the mound for PCA, as we prepare to start the USN half of the fourth inning. Doing the batting for USN in the fourth is going to be Carson Dar. And then top of the order, Joe Zen and Owen Block. Carson steps in. USN with a 4-0 lead. Carson with a little poke out the right side. So it's 0-1. The catcher, on seeing that foul ball, seemed to signal to the right fielder that he should move a little bit more towards the line, and he takes just a step or two in that direction. Another foul ball out to the right side. So whatever the baseball supply is, it is rapidly depleting as Carson falls behind in the count 0-2. Bramble now working from the stretch. Throws well high and outside for ball one. The 1-2 to Carson is inside. Nearly hit him. Did it hit him? As usual, the Tiger bench wants him to wear it, but he could not do so. It's 2-2 now to Carson. Pitch on the way. Swung on in a little dribbler up to the mound. It's pulled down by Bramble. He throws to first, and it is in time. Diving for the bag was Carson, but he couldn't reach it. And so it's one away for USN to start the fourth. And we're back to the top of the lineup with Joe in. Joe is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a sacrifice. It's a foul pop-up to the catcher, and he makes the play. Well handled by the catcher there. He was sprinting back towards the screen. It was a low foul ball hit back there, so he had to hustle, but he got there in time. And so there's 2 away now for Owen. Owen puts down a bunt, but he fouled it back. So Owen, with his great speed, who stole 3 bases, or I guess I had better say he stole 2 bases and then scored on a wild pitch back in the second. Now he swings at this one. It's a line drive, and it gets past the shortstop. And so Owen has a single. Again, out from the dugout is the PCA manager. He resumes his place, and Alexander heads to the plate as Owen takes another ominous lead away from first base. Working against the left-hander, he'll have a little bit of a tougher time getting as big a jump as he did in the first inning. Now he does go. This ball is crushed to left field. Will it get over the left fielder? No. It was ripped right to him. And that concludes the fourth. So no runs on 1 hit for USN. And we are through 4 complete innings of baseball. Your score, USN 4, PCA nothing. PCA still with no hits thus far. Only 1 runner has reached base, and that was on a walk. So Townsend Stevenson has pitched a beauty in the opening game of the season for each team. and he walks back to the mound here in the top half of the fifth in an effort to keep it going. He hasn't thrown terribly many pitches. He has not allowed many batters to work deep into the count. And he's throwing very smoothly with an apparent ease. Dillon launches down to second base. And it's going to be Finch to lead off. He was the first of the 6 consecutive strikeouts that Townsend registered beginning in the top of the second. And we'll see if he can duplicate that again here. The windup and the pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. But the second pitch is right down the middle, swung on and missed. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed as well. So Townsend with a lot of fastball work, and thus far the Lions have not been able to catch up to it. We'll see what he offers here on the 1-2. It's another fastball, and it is strike 3 called. I believe that's the first strikeout looking of the afternoon. It is Townsend's 9th strikeout. The others have been swinging. Squaring to bunt, but pulling back was Keller, and he's out in front 1-0. Townsend winds and delivers, swung on and missed. One ball and a strike. The 1-1 is high and inside. Keller squats down low, swings and misses for strike 2. Trying to narrow that strike zone by getting small in the batter's box. But the pitch is a good one, and Townsend has it 2-2. Keller crouches out over the plate, swung on and missed on the inside fastball. Was high and inside, and he offered at it, but got none of it. And so Townsend has started another streak now, 3 strikeouts in a row for a total of 10. 10 of the 14 outs thus far have been strikeouts, and he'll look to add another one here as Patrick, the left-hander, steps in. His trail foot on the back, white chalk of the batter's box. The first pitch paints the outside corner for strike 1. Oh, 1 on its way, and Patrick well behind that fastball, almost seemed to start his cut when the ball was in the batter's mitt, within the catcher's mitt. The batter does not wear a mitt. He wears 2 gloves. And 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and Patrick is down. A dominant performance from Townsend Stevenson. He struck out 4 in a row, 11 in total, through 5 innings. And we are through 4.5. USN retains a 4-0 lead. Fans continue to file in. We see the new USN director, Mr. Amani Reed, in the red cap. Many coaches waving up to the box to say hello to this broadcaster. Coach Cox, Coach Masur of the soccer team. Those coaches are out of season right now, but even whether they were in season or not, everybody enjoys a good day of springtime baseball. It's not quite springtime, but we've certainly had some springtime weather the last few weeks. This is familiar early season baseball weather. 50 degrees, chill in the air, bit of a breeze blowing. And we're ready to start the bottom half of the fifth. Leading off the bottom of the half of the fifth will be Mahoney Donick, the first baseman. Mahoney has walked and hit into a fielder's choice. So he's 0 for 1 on the day, looking to get on the board. First pitch is inside, roped towards the third base coach area. Foul. So it's 0-1. Bramble's been effective in relief. He's thrown 1 2/3 thus far without allowing a run. The 0-1 to Mahoney, he just is able to get a little bit of the bat on it. It's fouled back. On the ground, so 0-2. He's thrown strikes. That goes a long way in the high school game. Mahoney rips one towards the hole. It's going to be a base hit to left field. Stopping at first is Mahoney. They get the ball in. And so Mahoney leads off the fifth with a Tiger single. The sixth hit of the afternoon for USN. And Townsend Stevenson steps in, looking to help his own cause. Townsend is 0 for 1 also with a walk, and they're going to throw back to first base. Mahoney was halfway to second base, and he stopped. The catcher sort of walked towards first base for a moment, and then threw it back. Townsend squares the bunt, fouls it away. Here's the pitch from Bramble. Outside. That makes the count 2-1 to Townsend. Mahoney takes his lead. Townsend squares the bunt. He's got a great bunt down the first side. This could be a base hit. And he does beat it. The pitcher entered a dead sprint to try to get there and shuttle it over to first base, but by the time he got there, Townsend was already on the bag, and he could do more than sort of try to flip at it with his glove, but to no avail. So another pinch runner comes in. First and second with no one out for Dylan Washko. Dylan is 1 for 2 with a double and a fly out to right field. Both runners going. Dylan looks to bunt. He's got a great one down. The runners are well in place. The throw draws the first baseman off the bag, and so Dylan is safe. And the bases are loaded. That's going to bring up Riley, who fouls off the first pitch into the bleachers behind first base. So we've got an 0-1 count. And another pinch runner will come in for Dylan, the catcher. Bases loaded, no outs. Tigers with a chance to extend their lead. None of the runners are being held on. Working from the belt is Bramble. He throws well outside, making the count 1-1. Coach G giving signals over there in the third base box. The 1-1 misses up high. Two balls and a strike. Oftentimes you'll see Coach G with something creative here on the base paths. This pitch is hit towards right center field, fading towards the right fielder who makes the catch. Tagging at third base and scoring is going to be Mahoney Donick. The pinch runner who was at second base tagged up as well. So we're going to have first and third with one out. Oftentimes in the first and third situation, we see a steal attempt. The catcher calls out the defense as Harry Fitzgibbon steps in. And we've got a strike on the outside corner. Bramble comes set at the belt. 0-1 on its way. Taking second without a throw. Instead, they throw it over to third, and diving back towards the base is the pinch runner number 6. But it's an uncontested steal. And a 1-1 count to Harry. Harry swings and misses. Moving the count to 1-2. And we've got another fly ball to right field. It's going to be shallow. It's going to be a tough play. Heading over towards the line and fair, and it bounces into the bullpen. It's going to be a ground rule double. And both runners should score. Yes, and they do. The pinch runner stopped for a moment at second. Excuse me, stopped at third. He was unsure if he had the free run or not. But he indeed does. So it is a ground rule double for Harry Fitzgibbon with one out. And that makes it 7-0 in favor of USN. And I don't remember the mercy rule, but it might be 10 runs through 5 innings. So we might be in that territory. And we've got a single to left field. Carson Darr, Harry is going to stop at third. He got a little bit of a late start on it. But with one out, Coach G content to be patient. We're back to the top of the order. We will see if USN attempts any tomfoolery on the base paths with one away. Joe Zen is in. He is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice. Swings, rips one down the line. This is going to be a double. It went into the left field corner. Scoring is Harry Fitzgibbon. Diving into third base and stopping there is going to be Carson, and it's second and third with one out and another run is in. Nice double right down the line past the diving third baseman for Joe Zen. His first hit of the day. USN now in front 8-0, and that looks like that's going to be all for Bramble. I put the announcer's jinx on him. I said he had been pitching so well, and he had been. But the Tiger runs have come in bunches thus far today. 4 runs in the second, 4 runs again in the fifth. And sprinting in from the right field, visiting bullpen, is number 14 for PCA. I'll get that name for you. It's going to be Bowles. Bull's a big right-hander with a good baseball mullet, as you might hope to see. Overhand delivery. The first batter that he will face will be Owen Block, who is 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a fly out to deep center field in the first inning. Center field here is quite deep. Most high school fields are not 400 feet to straightaway center, but this is not a high school field. This is the field where the College World Series champions of 2014 and 2019 make their home. And they've been very generous indeed to let us use it for 2 games today. We'll have a doubleheader. Both games here against PCA. USN will be the home team for the first game and the away team for the second. Bull sends in his last warm-up pitch. He receives it back. And we're going to get back underway. The score is 8-0 in favor of USN. They have runners at second and third, and there is 1 out. The umpire calls out some instructions. I'm not sure exactly what they are. Bulls will work from the windup. And here's going to be a straight steal home. And they get a bunt down. Play is stopped. I can't tell. I think they're calling a balk. He went from the windup and he very clearly abbreviated the windup for some reason. So it's going to be no pitch. The bunt will not count. The balk does count, and the run scores. So USN's lead extends to 9-0. And now we're going to see Bulls go from the stretch. They will not make the same mistake twice. Joe Zen is 90 feet away. And if I have the mercy rule right, that could be the run that ends the game. The first pitch is a ball. 1 away, bottom of the 5th. Owen takes again. This one's inside. 2-0. Owen almost pointing his red bat right at the pitcher. And this ball is going to be ripped, and that's going to be a base hit. So the run scores, and several players are there to greet him. And the Lions are walking off the field. So that is the game. Owen Block with a walk-off single to win it for USN. Final score 10-0 over PCA. Owen Block 3 for 4 with 3 singles, and the last one was the one that did it. Tigers score 6 runs in the 5th, 4 in the 2nd for a 10-0 victory. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with you in a few minutes for Game 2. Please stay with us, and we'll bring you that second game when it gets underway. Shouldn't be long. We welcome you back to Hawkins Field for the second game of today's doubleheader between the Tigers of USN and the Lions of Providence Christian Academy. The first game was won by USN 10-0 on the strength of a dominant pitching effort from Townsend Stevenson, who retired 15 of the 16 batters he faced in 5 innings. 11 of those 15 outs were by strikeout. He allowed only one base runner, which was by a walk. And so the Tigers moved to 1-0 on the regular season, PCA to 0-1. And they'll look to level the score here in the doubleheader, where they will play the home team in the second game. They were the road team in the first game, USN at home. It'll be Owen Block to handle the pitching for USN here in Game 2. We'll see what he can do in relation to the dominant performance that we saw from Townsend in the first game out. Roland will be the pitcher for PCA. USN basically with the same batting lineup, with the exception of Quinn Powers hitting in the 8th spot rather than Harry Fitzgibbon. And we are underway with strike 1 to Joe Ozen. Roland, a tall right-hander. Works from the windup. Second pitch is a fastball off the outside corner for a 1-1 count. And now we have the 1-1. Ozen fights it off. It came in inside and it rattled almost the very same seat that was struck by a foul ball in the first game. So Ozen is behind in the count 1-2. The first batter of Game 2 of the doubleheader. Taking his time is Roland. He appears cold out there at the mound. Ozen calls for time. Roland hasn't moved. Now he shakes off a sign. He accepts a sign, but with some frustration. Strange little sequence of events. He throws a fastball. He missed low and away for ball 2. So we've got a 2-2 count. Roland winds and delivers. Foul tip into the mitt. And it's going to be a strikeout. For Joe Ozen. So we've got one away for USN in the top of the first. Owen Block steps in. He was 3 for 4, had the walk-off single in the first game that delivered the 10th run and enacted the mercy rule. Owen also fights off an inside pitch to shallow center, sprinting in and not getting there as the center fielder. And Owen's got another single, his 4th in his last 4 at-bats. And Owen stole 3 bases in 3 pitches in the previous game. And I don't wonder too much if Coach G will have him going. I'm sure he will. He was a little more cautious against the left-hander Bramble in the first game. But I think against the right-hander Roland, we'll see Owen sent on his way. Roland comes set. Owen doesn't go, and we got a single to right field. Nice bit of hitting there from Alexander Peck. And it's 2 hits in the last 2 pitches instead for USN. Meanwhile, the throw-in is mishandled. Owen diving for third, and he's got there in time The throw nearly beat him to the bag, but Owen with a great slide got underneath it. And so just like that, the Tigers have runners on the corners with one out in the top of the first, looking to continue the momentum that they built with a 6-run fifth inning to close out the Lions in the first game. Owen gets a pinch runner for the moment. It looked like that dive took something out of him. He didn't seem to like that dive too well. So he returns to the dugout and is replaced by the preeminent pinch runner, number 6, who I still don't know. I'll see if I can figure out who that is for you. We now have Mahoney Donick, who drives one to center field, tagging at third base. The ball is caught in center field, tagging at third base, and scoring as the throw goes to the plate is the pinch runner. So just like that, it's 1-0 USN. 2 outs. Alexander Peck is on first base. Townsend Stevenson, the hero of Game 1, comes to the plate. Standing in the dead center of the batter's box. The runner goes. Pitches inside. Throw down to second is nearly in time, but it is a stolen base for Alexander. And we've got a 1-ball count to Townsend with a runner in scoring position. And 2 away, USN hoping to extend its lead to 2 runs in the top half of the first. The ball bounces in front of the catcher. Trying for third is Alexander. He gets there. The throw gets into left field. And here comes Alexander. The throw's coming into the plate. It will not be in time, and Alexander scores. So USN very quickly now enjoys a 2-0 lead. Two balls and no strikes, the count to Townsend. Pitch on the way. That's driven towards right field, just over the outstretched hands of the first baseman, and another base hit for USN. Townsend aboard with a single. 3 singles for USN in the first, 2 runs. And for certain, the deepest drive of the first game was provided by the catcher Dylan Washko, and he stands at the plate now in an effort to deliver another one that might extend the USN lead. He stands in with the open stance near the inside corner of the plate. First pitch is on the outside corner of the plate for a strike. Dylan calls for time. It was with refreshing speed that Townsend worked in the first game, rolling for PCA, a much more deliberate pitcher. Now he comes set at the belt. Townsend leads away from first base. Roland interminably remains in the set position. Now throws and gets it past Dylan for a strike. He's now out in front 0-2. Shakes off a sign. His foot twitches on the front end of the rubber, anxiously. Perhaps remembering the killer double that Dylan delivered in the first. Dylan calls for time again. It's an amazing amount of time that he spends before he comes into the set position. Now he comes set. The pitch. High and outside for a ball. So Dylan gets one back. It's a 1-2 count. Roland comes set. Delivers home. High fly ball into center field. The center field took a couple steps back. Now in position. and makes the play. So that retires the side, but USN picking up where they left off in game number 1. They lead it 2-0 through half an inning. And we'll see if PCA has any answers for the USN pitching. This time it will be Owen Block, who, like Townsend, is committed to play for Washington University St. Louis. Also, like Townsend, mainly a power pitcher, can bring it in the upper 80s, and I've even been told has reached 90 a couple of times. Owen delivering his warm-up pitches with great pace. Mixing in a curveball as well. Townsend also had a nice curveball, but he used it rather sparingly in the first game, and with good reason, because the Lions had a great deal of trouble catching up with the fastball when he delivered it, and so he delivered it very often. And we'll see if the blueprint is the same for young Owen as he stands atop the rubber to face the Lions in the bottom of the first. And it will be the shortstop Miller to lead it off for PCA. He takes ball 1 high. Second pitch is again a fastball. And it's right down the middle. So we've got a 1-1 count. And again, Owen went fastball there. So it seems the Tigers are content to throw hard and see where that takes them. The 1-1 is inside. It was again a fastball. It brushed Miller off the plate a little bit. Again, his hands are certainly over the inside corner of the plate. Fastball is fought off. Back to the screen. So it's 2-2. Fouled back again. Owen seems very content to work the inside part of the plate. Oh, curveball got him looking. He threw nothing but fastballs until then. And the curveball clearly fooled Miller. And Owen starts it out with a strikeout. Strikeout looking. Ferguson steps in for PCA, and he takes a fastball in the dirt for ball 1. Squares to bunt, but pulled back. The delivery was inside, so it's 2-0. Dylan Washko, the catcher, works from one knee. The pitch from Owen is driven to right field. Struggling a little bit to get under it, but eventually doing so was Powers. And there's 2 away. Burkhofer steps in for PCA, looking to get their first base runner of the game. The first base runner of the game for PCA in the first game was also the third hitter of the game. It was also the last base runner of the game. And the first pitch is a fastball outside. So Owen falls behind 1-0. Another batter who's even his elbow seems to be over the plate. Very much crowding the plate. And Owen throws inside in an effort to back him up perhaps, but it's ball 2. Fastball for a strike. Two one is grounded to short. Charging in is Alexander Peck. He throws over to first. That was clean. Very nice put out. He made that look very easy, and that was a tough play. So the side is retired in order for PCA. No runs, hits, base runners, people left on base, or anything of that sort. We're through 1 full inning, and USN enjoys a 2-0 lead as we head to the top of the second. It will be 7-8-9 for USN. Grant Riley, Quinn Powers, Carson Darr to face Roland. And when the Tigers come up, they come charging out of the dugout towards the plate. Even before it's time to step in, you can see how anxious they are to go hit. I know Coach G has been having them do quite a bit of hitting. He, as I said in the first game, for those of you who had tuned into that one, he views the backbone of the team as pitching and defense. And the pitching and the defense is outstanding, as we've seen thus far. They've allowed no hits in 6 innings of baseball across 2 games. But I know that in many practices he's had them hit for 2 hours and do nothing else, because that was a common source of starvation in the previous season. The team would play very well and be on the losing end of 2-1 games, 3-1 games, etc. Grant squares to bunt, and the first pitch is low for a ball. The third baseman cheats in a little bit in an effort to prevent an attempt at a bunt single. Grant takes the 1-0 pitch for a strike on the outside corner. Roland showing mostly a fastball and a curveball, but attempting to gain command mainly by location, not an overpowering pitcher, and that curveball is behind Grant, so he didn't establish command by location on that one. 2 balls and a strike, the count to Grant Riley, the leadoff hitter of the top of the second. Into the windup is Roland. He delivers. It's hit towards shortstop. Tough play, and just no chance. Grant Riley moving very quickly. The shortstop was not able to come in and charge it, so it's going to be an infield single for Grant. And a fine start to the top of the second for USN. And with the speed that he just showed, We'll see if Coach G calls for a steal here. Quinn Powers steps in. No batting gloves. The one USN Tiger we've seen with no batting gloves thus far. First pitch is inside for a ball. Quinn, a very strong young man. You can tell that his bat is a little bit bigger than the bats of some of his teammates, but he can handle it. Riley leads away from first. 1 ball to count. The 1-0 is also outside for ball 2. Coach G delivering many signals over there at first base. But the runner not going. Pitches in the dirt, but nicely stopped by the catcher Ferguson. But nonetheless, it's a 3-ball count. Tigers looking to string some base runners together here. Will Quinn have the green light? Going to second base is Grant. He would have had a steal, but it was ball 4 nonetheless. So we've got 2 runners aboard, no one out. Carson Darr, the number 9 hitter, comes to the plate. Carson singled and scored in the first game. Now, this is often a situation where Coach G will get a bunt down. With the number 9 hitter up, let's see if that's the call. Big leads for the runners. Carson squares to bunt. Puts it down towards first base. Nice bunt. And Carson is retired. The pitcher picked it up over near the first base line, shuffled it to the first baseman, but the runners advance. So we've got 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position. And we're back to the top of the lineup with Joe Zen, who struck out in the first inning. Chance to redeem himself here. First pitch outside for a ball. Coming set at the belt is Roland. He throws home. Inside corner for a strike. He's shown a curveball in his warm-up pitches between innings, but I don't think he's thrown a curveball yet. To any of the Tiger hitters, it's been all fastballs. And the Tigers seem to have a beat on him thus far. We'll see if that continues here. Not swinging is Ozen, and he takes strike 2. That one was down the middle. So it's 1-2, and he'll have to protect the plate now. 1 away, runners on second and third. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and hit right back up the middle for a base hit. Nearly right over the bag at second base. Stopping at third is Quinn Powers. Grant Riley scores, and USN extends its lead to 3-0. So we've got first and third again. The catcher looks into the dugout for instructions. He calls out the defense. Owen blocked the pitcher, who has singled in his last 4 at-bats going back to the first game. We'll look to extend that streak here. The characteristic pose as he seems to point his bat towards the pitcher. Coming set and delivering. Pitches inside for a ball. The runners don't advance. Not a terribly large lead for Ozen over at first base. We'll see if he decides to go. He does not. Pitches in the dirt, and the runners stay in place. It's a 2-ball count to Owen block. USN leads 3-0. There are runners on first and third with 1 out. Now the runner goes. It's a strike to Owen. No swing. And taking second base uncontested is Joe Ozen. So the Tigers now with 2 runners in scoring position with the 1 out. Owen has a 2-1 count. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and grounded towards the hole. The third baseman goes to first. And Owen is retired, but a run scores. So there's 2 away. Joe Zen stands at third base. USN leads 4-0. Alexander Peck is up, and he singled in the first and scored as well. Another single here would be another Tiger run. The pitch is on the inside corner for strike 1. Alexander, the University of Arkansas commit, only a sophomore, a very imposing presence at the plate, and the 0-1 pitch is low and away for ball 1. Joe Zen stands 90 feet away, his eye never leaving the pitcher. The 1-1 pitch is again in the dirt off to the right as I look at it from behind home plate. 2-1. Little chatter from the Tiger bench. The 2-1's in the dirt. 3 balls and a strike. And Roland seems content to approach Alexander with caution. Ground ball is fouled away. So he threw him a strike there. And Alexander didn't make him pay for it. We'll see what happens if another strike is proffered on the 3-2 count. It is not. It goes to the backstop. Here comes Ozen, and he scores on the wild pitch. And that is ball 4. So the 5th run scores for USN, and Alexander reaches first on a base on balls, which will bring Mahoney Donick to the plate. He had a sacrifice fly in the first inning, which played in a run, as they do. And he's nearly struck by the first pitch, just narrowly missed his front knee inside for a ball. The 1-0 to Donick. Fouled it off himself. 1-1. Alexander's hand is wrapped in quite a lot of tape over there at first base. He looks like a mummy with a strand of tape hanging off of him. He straight steals second base before there's even a delivery. So the pitcher was standing nearly set. He took off before he even entered the windup. The pitcher stepped off the rubber and threw to second, but did not get him in time. So without a pitch, Alexander steals second, and Coach G is grinning with delight, as well he might. He loves creative stolen base, and he's got one here in the top of the second. 1 ball and a strike to Mahoney Donick. Here's the pitch. Slow grounder towards the pitcher. The pitcher has it and throws to first for the 3rd out. So the side's retired. The Tigers get 3 more runs. And they enjoy a 5-0 lead as we prepare for the home half of the second inning. As the Lions prepare to work against Owen Block. He retired the Lions in order in the first with 1 strikeout. It's almost certain that the Lions must be feeling some frustration at their inability to deliver a hit thus far. However, they've done a better job putting the ball in play against Owen than they did against Townsend in the first game. Although Townsend only struck out 1 Lion in the top of the first in his game and then went on to strike out 10 of the remaining 12 hitters that he faced. So we'll see if a similar fate awaits them. Or if there'll be a change in the story in game number 2. Stepping into the box is Baird, and he fouls off the first pitch towards the on-deck circle. Finch dives out of the way. Owen 1. Owen perpetually works from the stretch. He comes set. He throws home curveball, just a bit inside. Not in the sense of the movie Major League, but actually just very slightly off the inside corner of the plate. 1-1 count. Owen takes a deep breath, delivers another curveball right in the same location for ball 2. The 2-1 is driven towards right field. Quinn Powers is under it, and he's got it. So that's out number 1. Finch, the left fielder, stands in and prepares to face Owen, driving a foul ball to the back screen. It's 0-1. Nice curveball from Owen there. That one started inside and broke right over the heart of the plate. And it's currently 0-2. Owen quickly set again. High leg kick delivery, curveball, and he got him. It got through the glove of Dillon, but he throws over to first for the strikeout. Nice curveball there from Owen to get the strikeout. It is his second strikeout. And there's 2 away in the bottom of the second. Keller now the batter for PCA. First pitch is another curveball for a strike. So Owen has the Lions guessing now. This one, a fastball, just missed off the outside part of the plate for ball 1. Keller showed bunt there for a moment. Does so again here, and the 1-1 is just low for ball 2. Here's the 2-1. Tantalizingly close to the outside corner, but does not get the call, and now Owen is behind in the count, 3-1. As Keller looks to be the first base runner of the game for PCA. The 3-1 is inside. Keller checked his swing, but it hit his bat anyway and was fouled towards the Lion dugout over the top of it and into the protective screen. So we've got a full count. Tigers casually standing in place in the field. This one's hit towards right field, shallow right field. Quinn Powers comes over and makes the catch. Nice play by Quinn Powers. He placed himself well, not too deep in right field. It was towards that foul line. And he came over to make a nice play. So PCA does not get a base runner in the second, as they did not in the first. They continue to trail 5-0 as we head to the top of the third. We see Roland resume his place on the mound for PCA. Leading off the third for USN will be Townsend, Dylan Washko, and Grant Riley. Townsend singled in the first. Dylan flew out to center field. Grant singled and scored. He was the beginning of the big second inning, in which the Tigers scored 3 runs, but they scored 2 in the first as well. So both the top and bottom of the lineup have been productive for USN today, in particular thus far in the second game. And we'll see if that continues as Townsend makes his final preparations. Says something to the catcher, as many of the Tigers do. They're very conversant with the various catchers. All's in a good sporting way, as you would expect. First pitch on the way. It is low in between the legs of the catcher. Gets to the backstop, but the first pitch of the inning, that won't do any damage. It's ball 1. The 1-0 on its way. Again, it's low and away. This time for ball 2. Townsend must still be riding a great high from the pitching performance he delivered in the first game, and he drills a single up the middle. So Townsend's 2 for 2, and he looks to start another Tiger rally here in the top of the third. I can't say I'm aware of Townsend's speed or lack of speed over there at first base, so we'll see what Coach G decides to do. He has attacked Roland pretty liberally thus far, but Townsend remains on first base as the first pitch is low and in the dirt for ball 1. Coming set is Roland. Here's the 1-0. Curveball, fouled back. Evening the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Dylan menacingly stands in there, eyeing the pitcher very closely. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. 1-2. Sometimes when you get in so close to the plate, as Dylan is with his right foot standing on the chalk, then those pitches that are a little bit inside can really tie you up, and that's what happened there. This one has popped up towards the catcher, and the catcher makes a tough play. The ball was fading away from him. He had his back to the infield, as a good catcher should. And as the ball sort of drifted away from him on the wind, he did well to make a good play. So there is 1 out. And Grant takes his turn at the plate. Townsend remains on first base. Roland steps off the rubber as Townsend takes his lead. Curveball missed inside and high. 1-0. Is outside for ball 2. Coming set is Roland. Checks the runner. Throws home. Outside again. And he finds himself now in some trouble behind 3-0 to Grant Riley. I'd have to imagine he's going to take here, but we'll see. Pitch on the way. He does take. It's strike 1. They throw it over to first. Townsend not fooled. Beats the throw back. 3-1 count, 1 away. A runner on first base. USN out in front, 5-0. And the pitch misses high for ball 4. So Grant Riley's aboard again, this time with a walk. Townsend advances to second. So the Tigers have 2 runners on base with 1 away. Standing at the plate now is Quinn Powers, who's had 3 putouts in right field in 2 innings to start. He hits one towards right field, but it's going to be out of play. Surveying the runners is Roland. He comes set and throws. It's strike 2. Caught the outside corner of the plate with a fastball. 0-2 count to Quinn Powers. Roland throws home. Curveball is low and in the dirt. So Powers stays alive. He walked an inning ago and scored. Takes another pitch wide off the outside part of the plate. That makes it 2-2. Here's the pitch. Another one low. So Quinn has battled back to a full count. Runners at first and second and 1 out. USN with a 5-run lead looking to add to it. Here in the top of the 3rd. Here's the pitch to Powers. Swung on and grounded to the pitcher. He thinks about going to 3rd, instead goes to 1st. So it's a 1-3 put out. And the Tigers have 2 outs. The runners do advance, so we have 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. For the number 9 man in the lineup, Carson Darr, who sacrificed 2 runners into scoring position in the 2nd inning, the previous inning, and those runners both scored. Here he will have to deliver a hit if he wants to be the one to score those 2 runners. He swings and misses at the first pitch. It was a fastball that got past him, and he's behind 0-1. The runners stand on second and third, anxiously hoping that Carson can drive them in. He takes ball one. Continuing to work from the stretch is Roland. He's been victimized by some stolen bases thus far, jumping around as Townsend at third base. Here's the pitch. Missed wide. Good job by the catcher to keep it in front of him. This moves Carson ahead in the count, 2-1. Coach G delivering instructions to Townsend about the base running there as the ball nearly got away from the catcher Ferguson. Here's the pitch. Nice curveball. Started inside, curved over the plate. Carson swung and missed, lost his balance. So it's a 2-2 count. Tigers down to their final strike of the third inning. But two runners are in scoring position. Stepping off the rubber now is Roland. Lurking in the on-deck circle is Joe Ozen, who singled in the second inning and scored. Will he get a chance to bat? Ground ball from Dar over to second base. Should be a routine play. Mishandling it slightly. Oh, and they call him out. The ball was slightly mishandled by the second baseman. He had to hustle it over to first base, and it was a tremendously close play. But Carson Dar was called out. And so the Tigers failed to score the runners who were in scoring position. And they are retired in the top of the third. One hit and no runs. They continue to have a 5-0 lead against PCA, who has not yet reached base in this game. The first 6 hitters have failed to do so. It'll be 7-8-9 with their chance here in the third. USN resumes its place in the field. We are ready to go here, bottom of the third. Lions trail 5-0. It's Patrick for PCA. He struck out twice in the previous game, and he's behind 0-1. After the first pitch, a fastball is right down the middle. Patrick watches it go by. Here's the 0-1. Nicely done. Paints the outside corner. Patrick didn't offer at it, and it's 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Patrick got the bat on that one, but fouled it away. Two strikes to Patrick. Owen sets and delivers. Another foul ball. So Patrick staying alive. Owen must be a very terrifying figure on the mound, throwing just as hard as he can. There's a curveball. Missed high. 1-2. Owen sets, the wind rippling his jersey at his back, and he fired a fastball past him for strike 3. So Patrick's struggles continue, and Owen has his third strikeout of the afternoon, 1 away. Seago comes to the plate. Batting in the number 8 spot, the first baseman. Owen's first pitch is a curveball for a strike. Owen likes to start that curveball just around the inside corner and let it break in. Now a fastball for a strike. And he's very quickly out in front, 0-2. Looking to take care of this batter at the plate himself. Fastball, and he got him. So Owen Block now heating up a little bit. 2 strikeouts here to start the third. 3 strikeouts of the last 4 Lion hitters, and he now faces the number 9 man, Bramble, who pitched in relief in last game, the left-hander. Pitchers often feel, ooh, we nearly hit him, inside for a ball. Pitchers sometimes feel a certain responsibility to take care of the number 9 man themselves. And Owen threw that first pitch with a little extra speed, as if he intended to be the one to make sure that Bramble couldn't put the bat on it despite his best efforts. His second offering misses as well, and it's 2-0. Curveball, strike 1. Some commentary from the PCA fans say they don't like the call, and it was a close call, but the umpire's strike zone has been generous but fair all day. Owen tries a fastball this time, and it's fouled away. So it's 2-2. Owen with a chance to strike out the side here, and he comes set. The 2-2. Curveball, and he got him. Beautiful pitch from Owen Block and beautiful pitching. He confused the batter with a dizzying array of fastballs and curveballs, and that retires the side. So PCA is through in the third. 3 strikeouts and no base runners. So we head to the top of the fourth. USN leads 5-0. For USN, it'll be top of the order for the third time in the fourth. Joe Ozen, Owen Block, and Alexander Peck. Each of them has 1 hit. They're all 1 for 2, except for Alexander, who is 1 for 1. He singled and also walked. And we'll see what they can do with their opportunities here in the fourth. We do have a pitching change. It's a left-hander for PCA. It's not Bramble. It is, struggling to read it, if it's Charis or Chavis. Looks like Chavis. Yeah, that's going to be Chavis. So Chavis, the left-hander, enters the game for PCA. Rolling through 3 innings, gave up 5 runs on 5 hits. And looks to me like Chavis throws with a little bit more pace than the first 3 pitchers we've seen thus far. This is a very clean motion. We'll see if he has any more success than the 3 pitchers the Tigers have faced thus far. Those 3 pitchers have given up 4, 6, and 5 runs in 2 1/3. 2 1/3, I think. And 3 innings. So the task that has been placed before them has been a tough one today. And USN will not look to make it any easier here in the top of the fourth. They've got the top of the lineup ready to face Chavis. And stepping into the batter's box for the 3rd time today, for the 3rd time in this second game, I should say, is Joe Ozen. Winding up and throwing and missing outside for ball 1 is Chavis, and the 4th inning is underway. Here's the 1-0. Missed up high. So it's becoming clear Chavis is something of a thrower, but he's struggled to find the zone on his first 3 pitches. The third one is a one-hopper to the catcher, and so just like that, it's 3-0. And the 4th pitch is the most distant one yet from the plate, and Ozen reaches first base on a walk. This brings Owen to the plate. He is 1 for 2. He singled and scored in the first, and he grounded out to third base in the second. The pitch is drilled past the shortstop into left field for a base hit. And Owen, with his 5th hit in 2 games, really doing a great job. And that advances Joe to second. And Owen will be replaced by the omnipresent pinch runner number 6. And there are no outs. First and second. Alexander Peck comes in. Even, of course, from here, our perspective is distorted, but it seems from here even that even while standing on the mound, even while standing on the mound, the pitcher Chavis is shorter than Peck standing at the home plate. We've got a stolen base there by Ozen. The throw went into left field, and Ozen scored. Advancing to second was Owen. So Alexander's out in front, 1-0, and USN has scored again to lead 6-0. Here's a long fly ball to left field. And it's over everyone. It gets into the gap, nearly to the wall. Hustling around and scoring is the mysterious pinch runner, and it's going to be a double for Alexander. USN's lead grows once again. It's 7-0. And Alexander delivers his arm protector to Coach G. And the first 3 batters to face Chavis have all reached base in increasingly impressive fashion. A walk, a single, and a double. We'll see if Mahoney can keep that going. Coming set is Chavis. They hold Peck. They hold him on. The first pitch is a strike. Taking off is Peck. He's going for third. That ball's hammered towards the gap again. Will it get to the gap? No, they cut it off. But scoring is Alexander. He had the great jump. And it's a single for Mahoney, who roped it into left field for his first hit of the second game. And USN now leading 8-0. 4 hitters, 3 runs scored. And now Mahoney stands on first base as Townsend Stevenson looks to reach base for the 3rd time here in this second game. He has 2 singles. Curveball missed outside. 1-0. The Tigers haven't forced the issue. They haven't swung at bad pitches, and when there have been good pitches, they've made contact, and devastatingly so. Lots of strong hits into the outfield as the 1-0 is a fastball off the outside part of the plate. 2-0 now. The Tigers can sense that they might be an inning and a half away from another 10-0 Mercy Rule victory. They're hoping to get these next 2 runs as the 2-0 misses inside. Three balls, no strikes to Townsend. Does he have the green light? No. But the pitch missed nonetheless. Maybe he did have the green light. Who can say? He didn't swing. He's on first base now with a walk. Advancing to second is Mahoney. So the first 5 Tiger runners of the 4th inning have all reached base. And now it's Dylan Washko. He's 0 for 2 today. He flew out to center field and popped up to the catcher. The first pitch nearly hit him. He got out of the way of it. And it's 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Inside, but he swung at it. Getting a late start. Oh, and it got right through Bill Buckner style, right under the shortstop. That's going to be an error. And scoring is Mahoney. And we're going to have a quick visit to the mound. 6 batters have all reached base. USN with 4 runs here in the 4th. They lead 9-0. And the manager delivers some consolation to Chavis as the ball changes hands. We see again Bowles, who closed out the action in game number 1. And he again will be the one to try to stem the tide here in the second game. USN is out in front 9-0. They've got runners on first and second with no outs. Bowles a right-hander who delivers it over the top. Fastball and a curveball, as far as I can tell. Coach G showing no less focus than he otherwise would in a game where the Tigers have extended their lead to what seems like it must be an insurmountable 9-0 with the pitching command that they've demonstrated thus far. First pitch from Bowles is swung on and missed by Grant Riley, and that is strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Up high for a ball. Leaning in and coming set is Bowles. Here's the 1-1. Up high again. Curveball. Didn't come out cleanly, and it's 2-1. It's Stevenson at second and Washko at first. Although Washko has been replaced by the pinch runner Harry Fitzgibbon. Fastball for a strike on the outside corner. Evens the count at 2-2. Wind has died down somewhat as the flags variously lie limp in right field and center field. Stepping off the rubber is Bowles as Riley awaits the 2-2. Come set at the rubber. Here's the pitch. Curveball missed. Full count. Riley is 1 for 1 today with a single and a walk. This is his third consecutive inning with an at-bat. The 3-2. Up high, ball 4. And that'll load him up for the number 8 man, Quinn Powers, who has walked and grounded out to the pitcher. He'll hope for a little more than that here. Every batter's dream, coming to the plate with the bases loaded. This one with a little bit less stakes than what we all sort of fantasized about at this age. Coming to bat with 2 outs in the last inning and the bases loaded. Needing to deliver a hit to win a game. First pitch is a strike. 0-1. Quinn sizing up Bowles. Bowles leans in. Comes set. Looks things over. Delivers to the plate. Up high. Ball 1. Tigers looking to plate that 10th run, which will put the Lions in jeopardy of losing a second consecutive game by the mercy rule. The 1-1's in the dirt. 2-1. Here comes the 2-1. Swung on and missed. Quinn just didn't stay in there as well as he might have. Sort of faded away from it, and now it's 2-2. Here's the pitch from Bowles. Outside corner, strike 3. Caught him looking. Now the throw gets away. Coming home and trying to score is Townsend, and he does not. He's out. So Townsend is thrown out at home. And there's 2 away for Carson Dar. So the Tigers have batted around here in the 4th. Carson was the final out of the 3rd inning. And now there are runners at 1st and 2nd. It's Harry Fitzgibbon at 2nd. Not really being held on, although the second baseman continues to bluff back and forth. First pitch is a check swing outside. They appeal to the other umpire, who agrees that no swing was made. 1 ball, no strikes to Carson. Coming set is Bowles. Checks the runner at 2nd. Delivers home. Inside over the head of Carson Dar. And it's 2-0. Standing in the on-deck circle is Ozen. He led off this inning with a walk, and he then scored. The 2-0. Swung on and missed. Fastball right over the middle. Nice pitch. And it's 2-1. Carson would love to get a single here. On their way are the 2 base runners. This is going to be a single to shallow center. Yes, hops in front of the center fielder. Scoring is Harry. Stopping at 3rd is Grant Riley. And the Tigers now have that 10th run on a Carson Dar single. It's 10-0. First and third with 2 outs. As the Tigers score their 5th run of the inning. As before, we see defensive signals being called by the catcher in case the runner elects to go. Coach G making some notes over at the Tiger dugout as if he's not going to make some sort of call over to the base runners. He's speaking very intently with Townsend, I believe, over in the Tiger dugout. Joe Zen takes ball 1. Joe has struck out, singled, and walked. The 1-0 is high for ball 2. Fielders scramble around in anticipation of one of the runners or perhaps both of them trying to steal, but no one moving at the moment. Taking all the way was Ozen on the 2-0, and it was a strike right down the middle. So Bowles records the strike, and it's 2-1. Bowles comes set. Runner goes. Pitch is high and inside, and there's no throw. So it's 3-1 as Carson advances to second base. Now there are 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. And a 3-1 count to Joe Ozen. Pitch on the way. Missed wide for ball 4. And that will load the bases for Owen Block, who singled and scored earlier in this inning. He likewise singled and scored in the first. He's got 5 hits thus far today. First pitch is ball 1. High and inside. Would love to get a 6th, as anyone would. But there are lots of runs to be delivered if he can get a base hit here. The 1-0. Fastball right down the middle for strike 1. Coach G seems content to allow the players to take against a struggling Bowles. Here's the 1-1. Missed wide. Outside for ball 2. Each runner not being held on takes about a 15-foot lead. The 2-1 is high. 3 balls and a strike. Bowles rejects the ball that he had been given and receives a new one. 3 balls and a strike. Bases loaded. 2 outs. USN out in front 10-0. Owen Block, the pitcher at the plate. He's been perfect through 3 innings thus far. Can he get a hit here? No need. Up high for ball 4. And a run scores. So USN's lead grows once again, this time to 11. Grant Riley records the run. Alexander Peck comes to the plate. He doubled his last time up. He's 2 for 2 today with a single, a double, and a walk. First pitch coming. Fastball for a strike over the inside part of the plate. No balls and a strike to Peck. Here's the pitch. Good fastball over the outside part of the plate this time. Peck got a little bit of the bat on it to foul it off, and it's 0-2. The bat swirls above his head. Here's a curveball. Just missed inside. 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Catcher does a nice job to block it, but the runner's coming home, and he's going to score. Ferguson did well. He kept it in front of him, but it sort of hustled up the first base line a little bit. He had to hustle up the first base line to go get it, but he wasn't in time. Each runner advanced the base. Carson Darr scored, and it's 12-0. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Struck him out. So Peck strikes out. 12 batters came to the plate for USN in the fourth. 7 of those batters scored. And it's 12-0 USN. We go now to the bottom of the fourth. Owen Block working on a perfect game. He's been perfect through 3 innings. He struck out the side last time out, which seems like an eternity ago. He has 5 strikeouts of the 9 Lions he's faced. The other 4 have flown out to right field 3 out of 4 times, or grounded out to shortstop. But again, the majority have been strikeouts. First pitch nearly hit the batter. It was squaring to bunt. Was Miller. The pitch came inside. Nearly hit him, but just missed him. Oh and 1. Also a strike. 0 and 2. Swung and missed. Sorry, there was the bunt offering missed everything, so it was in fact a ball. So it's 1 and 2. Two balls and 2 strikes the count. Ooh, just missed the outside corner with that one. So the count is full. Battling back is Miller. Struck him out. Struck him out looking nicely done. Four strikeouts in a row for Owen. As Ferguson comes to the plate.